My desk is a mess right now. I've been painting a lot of 40K, but I'm gonna have a good stream. I'm gonna grind a bunch. Uh, what else? We're gonna grind a bunch, maybe watch some fucking YouTube. And yeah, it's kind of the only plan right now. My desk is a mess right now. I've been painting a lot of 40K, but I'm gonna have a good stream. I'm gonna grind a bunch. I don't want that to echo a ton. But now that we know that it's working, let's pop over to War Thunder. Excuse me. So we've made good progress today. We're gonna get one more of these tonight. That's got 4 minutes left. Let's just hop into a game, yeah? I think so. I've been playing a lot of 7.7. This is now my new favorite PR, probably. I don't know, I like it a lot. The helicopters are fun as shit. And we are in. So I've just been using the Ush, pushing very hard. The game ever wants to start, that is, you know. Yeah, I want to stream more. I just never have the time. The game never wants to start, that is. We're gonna get a little echo here on assuming my audio over the gameplay. Yeah, it's too loud. I mean, I figured. I gotta edit it in OBS. We're gonna get a little echo here on assuming my audio over the gameplay. Let's let that sit for a sec. Of course I'm dead. That's okay. We were troubleshooting anyways. We're gonna turn all of this down. Oh, god damn it. Why did it do that? Oh, we have a backup. Let's see if it's equally loud. I just like can't even hear myself over my own voice. Which is shitty. Let's listen to this for a sec. Okay, I think it's good. I think my in-game volume is just fucking loud as shit. Or maybe my overall volume. Regardless, let's mute this. Oh, I'm gonna die again. Let's go forward. Oh shit. He's just shot someone. We're gonna go for it anyways. Friendly man is dead over there. Yep, that's definitely an enemy. Let's just push him and die. Fuck it. I don't even fucking care, man. Come on, man. Like, I don't even give a shit, man. You gonna fight me? Hello, goodbye. Oh god damn it, is he dead? Oh no. Hello. I love this fucking thing. Oh, hello. Another one. Twofer, nice. Shit. That's not ideal. I do hate how this thing cannot seem to push over any fences or anything. So I think this VK is still over here. I don't know where. Oh, hello. Okay, there's another one. And we're dead. Alright, that's alright though, that's alright. That is okay. So now we have the helicopter. Eventually tonight we're gonna watch a debate, yeah. I love helicopters. So much. Oh, there's a plane. Fuck. It's not great. I'm about to get killed, aren't I? Yes, sir. Okay, I'm still alive, actually. Okay, and the game's over. Huh, okay. Alright. Okay. Would've been cool if that missile hit him, though, right? Was that a vampire? Yeah, I'm just wondering if there's a way to stream in a better output. But right now, I'm not gonna do that. Right now, we're just gonna do this. Let's do one more game before we watch anything, I guess. It's funny, so the Streamlabs app actually shows me who subscribed, and I know exactly. I mean, it goes back before I even started streaming, and I see one of my friends in there, which is cool. Which is very cool. I like my friends. They are cool. Alrighty. Gas. Oh shit. It's like no one on this side. I'm sure that'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm just gonna drive up there and shoot some people. Or die. One of the two. But hopefully either way we cap the point. Because if we cap the point, we get the helicopter. And the helicopter's what I'm actually good with. Zoom, zoom. God damn it, every time I hit anything. And I'm not a good driver, so it's tough for me. I mean, in real life, I'm a good driver, just not in the fucking video game. Ugh. I will most likely die in this spot. Probably gonna die here. Get me the fuck out. Get me the fuck out right now, right now. Get me out of here. Oh, that's not a way out. That's not a way out at all. It's the opposite of a way out. Ooh, good thing I drove away. Well, why'd you do that, buddy? I fucking love this vehicle, man. It is redonkulous. Some of the things you can just achieve by being fast. It is pretty crazy in this game. Just gotta rush, man. Damn, I missed him. No, nah, I didn't miss him. We're going back after him. Fuck it. We're turning around. We're getting this motherfucker. Thank God he wasn't around that corner. Oh, but he's not too far off. Please turn. Oh, that was a Magok 1. I don't think that's what I was looking at. It might have been. It might have been. Who can really know for sure? Oh no. No, 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 no. Somebody's killed a man. Right over here. Oh, hello. I didn't aim quick enough. That's okay. We got our helicopter. sure do love flying my helicopter. Is that a guy right there? No, he's dead. Hover. I'm just gonna go after your friend if you're gonna try to shoot my ATGM, sir. Oh, close, close. I'm going to kill you, sir. No? Oh my god, are you fucking joking? Fuck you. I don't want no kill assist, I want the kill. Put it right on top of his turret, thank god. Who the fuck is shooting at me? It's a drone trying to hit me. Pretty sure that's what it is, at least. Let's go forward. I have no idea what our speed is at, but it's not important, you know, not really. What fucking music am I hearing? And what the fuck is happening to my heli- oh. That's what. Well, shit. That's embarrassing. That's alright, though. Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. Let's just sit in the back a little bit. Well, MiG-15's dead. Okay, cool. I was gonna say, I was looking, I saw the little flap flying in the air. It's good though, it's good. I'm having a good day of games so far. 9 assists, wow man. You could possibly call in a nuke. I don't know, probably not. Hello, dead guy. Okay. A Falcon's still over there. Look like he's showing us right where he is. Right by that leopard. Oh, the Falcon's dead, never mind. That sucks. No free kill for me. Not like I was getting first place anyways. Not like this fucking stud on the team. Just gassing it in there. Lamo. Sorry, looking at something on the old phone. To the hangar. Repair factory. Finish. Epic. Now we're going to disassemble all of these. And play another game here. You know what, since no one's watching, or, you know, no one important, I think we're going to pop open the debate, the reaction on the debate, and then see where we are after that, huh? It's a long-ass debate, but it's a good one. I really like Hippy Dippy, too. Ooh. So hopefully we can see this. We can see this? Yes, it's on Bosch's channel. Simmer down.
Anyway, I want to welcome you all to the Hippy Dippy Roundtable today. Thank you all for coming from all across the globe.
Where'd my phone go?
Places, within the United States and one person from America hat. I appreciate that very much. We're going to have a diverse set of topics with our diverse set of guests. First, though, I want to put out a big announcement. Politically Provoked has bought Hippy Dippy. They have paid me $20,000. Brittany is going to be hosting everything going forward from now. Don't worry. It's only going to be sent.
Okay.
And right-wing hosts going forward. It's going to be great. The first match is two anime profile pictures.
We're skipping the intro.
Introduce themselves quickly.
The rules.
We're going to go into the first topic. So we're going to start in the top left-hand corner with the new guest who's ever been here before, Brant, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, introduce yourself.
Howdy, everybody. My name is Brant from Brant for Liberty at Twitch. I basically run a crowdsourced media Twitch channel. We cover everything that's happening in the world and abroad, and I'm here to battle. I'm a center-right libertarian.
I think everything's working.
South-centrist. So I'm very appreciative. Thank you for inviting me, Dylan, and I look forward to a spirited debate.
This guy just seems like a good old boy. Up in the top left.
Now we're going to throw it over to the veteran and the self-declared people's champion of the Hippy Dippy Championship, CTV.
Well, not really self-declared. I saw enough in chat for it to just be a thing. But I am critically thinking veteran. Been here for a while. Been a part of the community for over a year now. So happy to be here tonight and have a good conversation.
Amen, brother. Now we're going to send it over to
his room is busy.
Appeared on Twitch and also
CTV.
The co-host of my new podcast, Burned Out. Me and Heem, my favorite guy.
I think we're going to turn this down just a little bit.
Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Heemed Out, or you can just call me Heem. I stream here on Twitch and
Dr. Heemed.
Really fucking early in the morning at 5:30
Ugh, I'm fumbling.
Eastern, before I go off to the hospital to do my research. I just like to talk about politics, life,
Well, one headphone in, and I want it to be the right one.
and I would align myself, I would call myself the sock dem, so I look forward to triggering everybody today.
Happy to have you on here. Now we're going to send it over to somebody I recently had a spirited discussion about Afghanistan with.
We need to turn it back up, it seems like.
My name is Beast Prodicus.
This game's a wash.
That I was the true champion. So you're sitting here with the People's Choice, the true champion, and then the person who got his belt.
Freedom and an American flag in the background. This man loves America.
I also need to give Sprout a shout out. Because Sprout,
Is that like the generic, like,
because of personal medical reasons, he expressed that he wanted to wait till FDA proof.
like the generic like fucking morale poster, like freedom, hang in there, you know.
Posted it on Twitter. I actually did. So gotta give him props for that. Very happy to see that.
All right, we're turning on subtitles.
At least one
I'm gonna
person.
send it over now to Joe Lewis, somebody I recently got brisket with.
That is true. I hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, I'm Joe Lewis. I stream on Twitch. The handle is Joe Lewis with the OV.
Can we get a let's go for Joe?
Let's go for Joe.
That's all I got
Hell
for
yeah.
now.
Let's
But
go, Joe.
Glad to see some faces of new and old.
How did that school board meeting go, Joe?
So the recall. So I guess a little bit of like back end on that. The recall petition for the Loudoun County Public School Board is underway. They have enough signatures. They said to submit it to a judge. One of the removals with the individual Beth Barth is already underway.
Would it be evil to sit here
It's already
and
filed,
wait?
So underway. Goes anywhere, we'll see. Dr. James Lindsay.
Bye bye.
Make sure what you're going to uphold for as long as possible, but it was a pretty interesting experience to see how these individuals talk about
Fuck all cast
taking opinions
mains.
on CRT and what should be done for parents. So that was kind of interesting.
I'm gonna send it over to Kevin.
Plus a free epic kill right at the beginning of the match. Hell yes.
On Politically Provoked.
We loved it.
Yeah, thank you, Dylan. It's great to be here.
We
Thanks
love
for
to
the
see it.
invite
Oh my god, there's
again.
one right
Welcome
there.
to the Dippy Show. Basically, I want to thank Dylan Burns just before I get into my intro. Dylan Burns
Die.
has been with me for about half an hour. You can check
I
out
love
his
this
performance.
vehicle. I love all the Swedish vehicles, honestly.
You know, you were talking about debates, debate row, that kind of stuff. Look, Dylan and I, we've both gotten a lot better at debates and everything. And as I was saying earlier, I mean, look, I used to not enjoy debates. Now I do enjoy debates. That's credit to Dylan Burns. So thanks for getting me into the debate row stuff, Dylan. So for me, I'm Kevin Castley. I run the channel Superpower Broadcasting. Do daily live streams to YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope.
Hell yeah.
Recently do
That's a
daily
lot of-
premieres to YouTube. That's thanks to all the patrons that are out there that power that. So thank you to you guys. You guys are awesome.
Oh my god, the cupola?
Myself, a liberal
The
hawk,
fucking cupola.
/ unilateralist. I'm a feminist. I am
Yeah, let's-
basically somewhat center or right on economics. I'm pretty socially left. And
No, come
I
back
mostly
here.
talk about foreign policy, geopolitics, security issues, things.
No, 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 no. Back it up, 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 back it up.
Issues, but everything with Afghanistan that's come up has meant that a lot of my content recently is, of course, focused on
Forward.
so important right now.
I want to kill you.
I'll also say this just to close, basically. If you're interested in checking me out and everything, you can find me over on YouTube, Twitch.
Well,
and,
goddamn it.
Superpower Broadcasting. Thanks. It's good to be here. Let's go.
We tried.
Now I'm gonna send it over to Trihex, who's been doing a lot of fitness streams recently. You want to talk about that at all?
Sure. Yeah. So in short,
Sounded, unnerving.
Trying to get to 12%
Ugh.
body fat. That's at the point where you have like visible ab definition, and that's whenever you're like a certified like douchebag fit.
Why don't you just
Wanna
take
push
the
it.
points?
I feel like that's like the. If I can do that, then it's gonna be like, you know, if I can do it, then literally anyone can do it, because I woke up like in July 2020, middle of the pandemic, and I was at the worst peak of my life. I was 20% body fat, 220 pounds.
Push me.
Context here. And I was like, damn, dude, I really let it go. The pandemic really got to me, and then some.
Nice.
But I've cleaned it up here. You're in some change now. and
Saved my
I'm all the way
life.
Down to 193. The lowest I've been weight.
A fitness Chad. A fitness Chad.
I have a lot more muscle than I did at that time. So I've been like doing that big time here. So I'm kind of working on like a fitness Bible, if you will, that I only want to really. I have like tips in there from my own anecdotal experiences.
We're gonna die if we stay.
Wanna, like really bang it out once I've actually hit that 12%. I have all the journey very transparent in my Discord, and the community knows I've been in the gym pretty hard. So
Get me out of here, man.
People call you the fitness prophet, then.
you can call me Fit Hex, you can call me Try Hex, you can call me Fit Hard, you can call whatever you want. Actually, if you see here, one of my hacks actually that I have here is I eat salads. I don't use dressing. I use a combination of like Parmesan truffle seasoning, pecans, and candied cranberries. And what I do is I eat them, my hands, as if they were potato chips.
Hello.
Well, it's delicious.
I buy coffees and then I eat them. Okay, we're gonna move over to Trihex.
Oh, hello.
Of course, lost his boss. We all know it. He couldn't follow the rules or respect the championship, so he lost it. Very disrespectful. But in my
Our most hated streamer, Vosh. We hate him.
decided to be a saintly individual, not act like the Taliban and kick him from the country as he has to like flee on plane. And I've allowed him back in.
Helicopter, helicopter.
You're a hell of a gymnast, Dylan. Yeah, I've been on a bit of a fitness kicker myself. I was 280 6 months ago. Now I'm around 235.
I need to start working out.
Nowhere near 12% body fat, but it's nice to have goals. I'm also a professional Bloodborne streamer. My political ideology is whatever keeps cities from looking like Yarnum, and that's pretty much it from 1 to 100.
Happy to have you all here. So, let's
What am
get
I
to the
hearing?
first topic of the night.
What am
Now,
I hearing?
I will not legislate your niceness, but I will say that always be nice. Make sugar your favorite spice. Good luck. Now we're gonna go in the first topic, and the first topic has to do with Hassan's new house. Never has there been so much dialogue about a streamer buying a home, but there has been a lot of dialogue on whether Hassan buying his new very nice home is hypocritical at all, since he is also a socialist.
Let's see if we can get this
Pretty
guy.
avid, outspoken socialist. That's all the background I think anybody needs to have. I think we all know the topic in question. So we're gonna, as always, we're gonna go from the top left-hand corner.
We'll disable him. Our friend will go after him.
Well, first off, it's always great to be
Please.
successful. I'm never going to hate on anyone for doing the grind, spending the time, putting the time
Nope.
and the effort in.
Nope, 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 nope.
That being said, it's in complete juxtapose to what your platform that you built up and the community that you
Oh,
built up.
oh, close, close, close.
As far as consistency,
No!
I feel like it kind of goes against what you've been preaching. It's kind of like a practice first what you preach.
Oh, we're not dead. We're not dead. We're
Like I
okay.
said, I would never hate on anybody for being successful. And, my hat goes off to him.
Oh, but I am going down.
Other than that,
Fuck,
like,
man.
as far as your message, I'm pretty sure your community has.
We're actually getting into it now.
But other than that, that's basically my 2 cents.
Okay, we're gonna throw it over to CTV. Also, please do donate and sub to the channel so I can buy my own mansion. CTV.
It's gotta be a shit show.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest here, folks, right? The left, right? Left, right? See? Is always, almost fucking always hypocritical. This is one of those key junctions
Oh, shit.
where it's like, Brant, like I hear you, right? You don't want to get down the guy that fucking works, right? Puts in the time to do, you know, to fucking get where he's at, right? You
This
don't wanna
game's
get
over.
down on that. But the reality is that when you build your platform, right, like you said, on different values, there shows the inconsistency. So this is where, like, there's no reason in the fucking world, right, to not
In the
hold
fucking
your
world.
fucking principles, right? So why is it that you think that it's much better for you to go buy a fucking
No ad block. No ad block.
mansion in West Hollywood, pay $3 fucking million for it, versus say like getting a fucking 20-acre spread out in the fucking woods, pay $150,000 for that motherfucker, right, and then be able to do much more with your fucking money, and be able to facilitate more of the community.
Oh, of
that
course.
will get you to where the fuck you're at. I mean, like, you know what? Counterpoint's had a good point last week with going and getting the fucking old abandoned malls and building community around that. Be a
Yeah,
great
we're
way
done
to
with this
help solve homelessness. But you know what? No, we're just gonna go waste our fucking money in Hollywood, right? And then fuck everybody else. Be like, God, give me more money. Just give me more money. I need more. You know, just.
Yeah, let's buy all of the malls. Well, not all of them, but let's buy a lot of malls in America and make homeless camps. Yeah, let's just make homeless camps. Put them all in a place and one single kind of concentrate them.
I need more, right? I'm not gonna do anything responsible with it except take care of me, right? And then leave everybody else with justifications like, oh, well, maybe he's using it to network with people or blah, blah, blah. No, that's just all a bunch of horse shit, right? And frankly, I don't even know how y'all are going to sit here and try to defend it tonight.
Amen, brother.
Are we going in order, or is it like?
We're going in order.
Okay, all right.
That guy's
no,
a content machine.
Send it over to him.
Love you, CTV.
Okay, so do I think Hassan's house is too big, like, and makes him a hypocrite? Probably not. I did the virtual tour of his house, and you can catch that on my YouTube if you want.
Fuck, we
And
should do
honestly, I thought it was like a reasonable, like nice, very nice house. I didn't think it was like an extravagant.
All right, let's hold on,
mansion or
boys.
anything like that.
Let's
But
hold on.
I'm more interested in if there's a limit.
Let's hold on a
to-
second. Let's hold on 1 minute. Okay, we're here now. Let's actually do that. Ignore all my shit. So let's see the West Hollywood home. I don't want to react to Hassan. I'm sorry, no. Virtual globe trotting. Let's see what this is. Okay, it's not going to go to that website, I don't think. It's got a pool, that's nice. Yeah, I need to see the inside though. And I'm going to give this about 2 more minutes before I give up. I can't, yeah, it looks nice. Is this supposed to be it? I mean, that is a nice house in West Hollywood. I mean, what can I say, you know? It looks like a nice ass house. Lamo. Oh, here's some more pictures. I mean, it is a very nice house in LA. Look how small that pool is. I'm sure the perspective's off, but I feel like I can get across that in a second. Is that the same fucking house? No way. Well, I wish I could do a virtual tour, but, we'll just say, like, I mean, yeah, it's a rich guy house, right? Like, it's a rich dude's house. That's what that is.
For example, like if you have a yacht or a private jet, are these things like not luxuries? Are they compatible with a socialist world? If Hassan or anyone who makes money from this kind of rhetoric, from the kind of rhetoric that he espouses, bought a private jet for their own leisure travel, would that be hypocritical? People might come back and compare it to like Bernie Sanders using a private jet for travel, but Bernie Sanders was on the campaign trail and he needed to fly quickly from place to place, so I don't think that's comparable. It seems that like a lot of people, when this news came out, were ultra quick to jump to his defense, and I find it quite odd. So I just implore these people to like test themselves by pushing it to the extreme of luxury with items like yachts to see if there's a line for them or not. I personally think that once people reach a level of comfort in their lives, they should and they advocate so heavily for a movement that they should be a leader for that movement, you know? And if you
we're gonna just assemble them all before
LGBTQ rights and you're Ellen DeGeneres, you should probably put your money towards LGBTQ causes. A lot of people like to shit on people like Destiny, for example, for various reasons, and I have my disagreements with him too, but the motherfucker believes in electoralism, and he put his money where his mouth is, and he went and campaigned door to door. If someone is poor, I understand having to sell out to capitalism to survive, but I personally think that there is some level of excess that even though I can admit Hassan's house doesn't reach that level, that there is a level. And I think that it would be interesting to have a discussion whether people think there is a level or no. Like, as long as he doesn't exploit people, he can have 10 private jets and it doesn't matter.
I do also want to say that I'm sorry I couldn't get Destiny from this. I'm sure he would have had amazing skills. The meth training is next level, honestly. Didn't expect it. It's a new juke out for all of us. We're going to throw it over.
I wonder if Destiny's still banned.
So,
Or is
my
it
take on
Bausch
this
that's banned on Twitch? I don't know.
This is what you see from when the left get rich. When the left gets rich, this is exactly what you see. Hassan buys a $3 million house.
Okay.
Actually, where he lives, the median house is worth $775,000. So his house is way above median. It's actually $2.25 million above median. If we're gonna talk about that, but you see Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders dogged on millionaires until he became a millionaire, and then he dogged on billionaires, and all time he's got 3 houses. This is what you see when the left gets rich. They don't keep to their principles, and that's just how it happens. But to kind of end my opening statement, I demand a room in Hassan's house when I go to California. Because socialism. That's my house too.
Alright, let's just be fair. Everyone does that when they get rich. Everyone goes and buys a nice house when they get
Really,
rich.
At this stage, talking about houses, I could give 2 fucks what Hassan does with his money. Like, I don't understand why it's such a big rub in the bathtub, but maybe through this conversation we can find out more. This idea that the left gets corrupted by money and the right doesn't is some fucking horse shit.
Exactly what I was saying. Thank you, Mr. Joe.
Who don't give a shit about the plight of individuals in states like West Virginia all the way to Arizona. Like, you really think Floridians actually give a fuck about individuals at the political level? They don't give a shit. Like, if it drives the money, it drives the money. So I don't understand why we are acting like this is just a leftist phenomena, where when people expand slightly outside of their means, that like it's
Let's see if we
the same
catch
shit.
anyone.
Like you get. Let me know how.
Oh,
you
we're not
stand on
gonna catch
morals
anyone.
if you're a billionaire.
It's like us
I'd
up
love
there.
to see
Let's just take the
how
point
you
then.
advocate for your
Oh shit, oh shit, that was a
statistically, none of us are gonna get there. So
real
like,
unsafe move there, guy.
I wish I could give a fuck. But
It's a mouse! No wonder I did nothing.
I guess we're gonna argue about lefty versus righties and financial responsibility for an hour, but maybe we won't. Whatever. That's all I got for now.
Okay, I'm gonna throw it over to Kevin Gasley.
Yeah, thanks, Dylan. So I'm gonna start off by saying basically, you know,
So I just want.
relates to
Oh,
the
wait.
degree of hypocrisy. I'm gonna say there is a little bit of hypocrisy there, and I can explain that position. But I do also want to say first off, just to the kind of the idea that this is a classic problem on the left. It's a thing that affects people with sort of moral framework across the board, though. And an example of this, a more prominent example, would actually be like Joel Osteen, for example, who's got a net worth of over $50 million. He's a
What?
conservative Christian. Is he living by what Jesus said to do? No, he's right wing. So it's a thing that happens on both sides, where you'll have that sort of excess, which might seem to contradict
Yeah, don't kill me, please.
your held values. Now, as far as it relates to the commodification of housing, buying a $3 million house definitely is partaking in that. Now, you would say, well, buying any house under capitalism is partaking in that. Hassan, obviously, he's somebody who is for basically a progression towards a socialist economy, and under a socialist economy, there wouldn't be commodification of housing. However, he would say proudly, well, you know, we're under capitalism right now, so he's going to buy his house. And I'll say this, and with what Brant said on this, you know, he worked his ass off. It's not like he didn't earn it. He definitely earned it. The issue here, though, is just that he's somebody who's against the commodification of housing, even though he would say, well, we're not there yet. He would say right now, tax the rich more. It just taxed me more, except that's not really what he's saying, though. He's also worn shirts like Eat the Rich, going beyond just mere taxation, talking about a post-capitalist system. And the
Let's see if we can
reality
get a missile launch on the if the
about an
mouse is
hour-long
still
premiere
there.
on my channel today talking about this is that socialism historically hasn't produced public housing that's anywhere near the level of house that he's living in. But I also said, as far as $3 million for a house goes, I do feel like he got ripped off. I looked at the house; it's a nice house, maybe 1.5 million or so. It really does go to how expensive West Hollywood is. If I had that kind of money, I wouldn't live in West Hollywood. So
Where'd the
that's
mouse
someone's
go?
personal choice. As far as it relates to the ultimate hypocrisy, it's a little bit hypocritical. I don't think it's ultimately that big a deal at the end of the day, though. But I do think that if you're somebody who's not just a social
Hello,
democrat,
not
you're
you.
just somebody who's, you know, for, say, the Scandinavian type system, I do think that it is a little bit hypocritical to spend that much money on partaking in the commodification of housing. In addition especially considering that even though you can argue that the work that he does is some of the least exploitative work out there, the production processes that went into producing that house involved, from a Marxist analysis, the exploitation of the proletariat to produce surplus value. So in that sense, it was contributing towards exploitation just in terms of the products. But, you know, it is an expensive area, I'll grant him that. It's just
You lived?
a matter of where that line is. And honestly, that line is more for people in his community to kind of decide at that point. I would say, to some extent, it does cross a personal moral line. But
Bag it up, 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 bag it up. Whew.
Now, I also want to say that if I do make the money, I will use it not to buy a house in Hollywood,
Oh my god, I just keep tracking people. Oh my god. I'm dead. Well, that was a good try. Bro, what the fuck? I've never had that luck with that ATGM.
And I also want to give a special. I didn't get to. Dylan kind of pre-formatted my intro here by talking about fitness, but I wanted to say I'm very.
Sorry, I'm totally talking over their intros.
First time actually hanging out and kicking with you, but good to see you, man.
Thank you. Likewise.
Yeah. So with that in mind here, my biggest issue with the whole discussion about is Hassan's house justified as a socialist advocate or self-described socialist is honestly the conflation over whether or not is it possible to own a house of that level of wealth while still being a socialist or advocating for socialism. And the problem here is I feel there's a big conflation between whether or not Hassan's merit of character is hypocritical for owning a house of this level of wealth, and whether or not can you even be a socialist if you own a house at this caliber of net worth. You know, can you legitimately own a nearly
I think so.
and still be a socialist? That's kind of the question there. And I feel like these two things get conflated so hard in the fanboy wars between, you know, hating Hassan and liking Hassan, that oftentimes I feel like a lot of people really lost the grasp over what even being social even means. And I feel like the fact that we couldn't get to that dialogue over Twitter was kind of like a huge problem. With that, there are a couple points I would bring here. One, but basically my stance here is that like it's not hypocritical to own a house that well, or own a house of that caliber, because I feel like when anyone's looking for a house, ultimately you're looking at it in terms of function. And well, it's one of the reasons, right? We'll start with function. The first thing is that like if you're a full-time streamer, the first cop out I usually hear is that well you can stream from anywhere. But in the reality here, if you do stream from anywhere, you're often stuck to the slavery of the monopoly ISPs here. So I don't know how the internet coverage is in California, but I think a pretty compelling argument would be here that you want to be wherever the Verizon Fios is or wherever the fiber optic internet is, because you can be slave to Time Warner or, you know, Comcast or whoever shit-ass internet is being provided in most of the areas here. You want to be and I heard that, generally speaking, that the fiber internet, Google Fiber tier internet, if you will here, dependable internet, is only available like in the Hamptons and areas that are like up there.
Oh, okay.
Can help me reiterate if I'm wrong on that or not. But also here, like the some people, like critical thing, veteran for example here, are essentially opting to like backseat over how he spends his money. And it's interesting. I would hear like what I assume is a conservative argument here that like he's being hypocritical, but at the same time here you're open to like backseating or front seating over how a private business owner would spend their money. It's really interesting in that context to me. Also subjective over his preferences too is kind of weird. Moving on though, like
Nice.
criteria for Hassan having the house, like whether
This
it
guy's
be
going on for a
him
while.
having his family or trying to put maybe a production studio in one of the bedrooms, like a full-blown one that would be like way more, you know, like pro streamer or pro production value than having his like personal bedroom be that. I don't see the issue here with like if you can afford it, like why not? Function is very strong there in terms of having an optimal location near an international airport while you already live in California where all the events happen anyway. As a full-time broadcaster, could possibly do more for a production studio at that point if he wants to. I just don't see here where like if he was expanding a team and building like a streamer house, how different it is to like have a streamer house for like an esports org.
I'm gonna die here.
And Hassan having his like production
Maybe not.
headquarters also be where he happens to live.
It
So I
feels
see a
like it
lot of
though.
Function and like getting what you want, and I feel like anyone here who's gonna put a 30-year mortgage down is going to definitely go for a very specific criteria of house. And it's I've been looking for a while, so I don't see it as insane. It's more reflective of how absolutely batshit insane the California market is comparatively. And of course, again, whenever people would say, okay, well, you know, shouldn't have got a $2.7 million house, could have got like a $1 million or like a $1.5 million. again, it goes back to this like rationalization of, well, where's the arbitrary line between like where one can buy a house in California, but it can't be too extravagant. There's a very subjective line to over what extravagant should be. And I can't really find people to, I can't find anyone to like really pin that down to a definitive criteria, other than what feels like a rooted jealousy or envy over like, I don't like Hassan and I want a reason to not like him or whatever. This is what I observed.
Oh my god, I didn't realize you could do that.
Finally, it's also really interesting that people also advocate here. It's my final point, so I don't think a little longer. Yeah, percent of wealth to charity, as well as like that he must.
Yeah, let's
must
bring in
be
that shopper.
Completely transparent to validate advocating for socialism, or else he's like being hypocritical. I find that also really weird too, because like, okay, so now we have to have like to be socialist, you must be completely, or socialist advocate, you must be completely transparent or very transparent to a very insane degree in order to promote socialist things while existing in a capitalist society. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Anyways, I yield.
Thank God.
Bosch to wrap up the intro.
Yield the fucking clicker, man. Fuck.
A few things. Yeah, I think this is dumb. I don't think it's hypocritical. I want to point out, this isn't about defending Hassan. Dude's huge. He doesn't need defense. It's more about the general attitude, because this type of argument...
Don't see me, don't see me, don't see me, don't see me.
...the left really often. First off, it kind of reminds me a little bit of that common discourse where a person will criticize the police, and then another person will be like, well, good luck next time someone tries to murder you. As though there's some implicit hypocrisy behind the expression of like a broader critique of the system, and also partaking in elements of that system. Of course, you're not just partaking when you're Hassan. Dude's rich, no getting around that. But I, honest to God, just don't care, you know? He is rich. His stream made him rich. A stream where he advocates left-leaning positions. He got a lot of money doing that.
No.
It'd be nice if he was philanthropic with that money. Yeah, for sure. It's always nice when we do things that are good. We all engage in little excesses from time to time, and when you're richer, those excesses become far larger. The problem, like, on my end with this is just that, like Trihex said, the line where you stop is completely arbitrary. Like, the implicit suggestion is that
let's get
the system we live in works. If you become
it's a Shilka, he's dangerous. Oh, he's dead.
If you're a large streamer or YouTuber, you're gonna accrue a lot of money doing those things. So the argument is that everyone
we can kill you.
If you're left-leaning, there's an additional barrier you need to pass. You need to be philanthropic. Well, how philanthropic? Because depending on how good faith the people attacking you are,
that's cool.
There might not be a line to that, you know? There are plenty of people in sort of the broader left.
Does he see me? He does. Let's go up. 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 Let's go up.
They make more money than some of the people who criticize them from below. My argument here isn't
hello.
that philanthropy isn't a good thing.
I'm gonna get you.
It's just that this criticism foments an incredibly irresponsible attitude within the left.
Oh, you shot me.
It encourages everyone to form a circular firing squad.
Shit.
Where anytime anybody becomes a little more successful than the people around them, they get dogpiled by those who are in their community.
No, you will die.
We should be happy when people who are left-leaning succeed, especially when they succeed because they're advocating for left-leaning positions. I can't imagine anything more useful for our movement. Imagine if we had canceled Marx because his money came from Engels, a socialist factory owner. Is it nice to not own a factory in the traditional autocratic manner of business ownership? Sure, absolutely. But I'm glad Marx got to write what he wrote, and I'm glad that nobody was around to convince him that his, labors were fruitless because they were stemming from some fundamentally hypocritical way of looking at the world or dealing with life. I hope Hassan gets another $3 million house out of LA, some other place, have fun with it. I just don't care, because the attitude this ferments will always lead to pointless infighting. It doesn't actually produce any good results. Like, no utilitarian benefit is derived from it. Nothing actually changes. We just argue and accuse socialists of being worse than other people who are not meeting standards defined by the non-socialists that nobody else has to meet. And we set the stage for, in the future, the same shit happening again. Sometimes justified, sometimes unjustified. If you want people to be philanthropic, this is not how you do it.
Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Let's have an adventure together.
Pack your bags.
I brought my strap on. I don't think that's what it's called. Champagne, such a violent beverage.
Baby for Brady, PG-13. Now
God damn it.
Paramount Plus.
Or they need an ad blocker.
So it seems to me it's more about the cancellation and the attacking people who didn't want it than it is the trying to change behavior.
Have you ever heard?
So what? Okay.
So far, this hasn't been too off the rails
I'm gonna be
here.
Very strict with moderation here, or at least I'm going to attempt to be. So please do keep the rules in mind, because I'll be a lot quicker than mute, considering there's a lot of people here who are strong voices, to say the least. But it is now open to the floor.
Have you ever
Can I
heard
just
the
get a-
phrase?
What? One
Can I
at a
ever-
time. One at a time. Vosh was the last to talk, so I'll give it to Sprout, since Sprout most likely disagrees directly with Vosh.
Okay. Have you ever heard, Vosh? Have you ever heard the phrase "actions speak louder than words"? It just
No, I've
quick
never heard
yes or
that.
No, whether you've heard that phrase or not.
Yeah, I've
That's
heard
what you
that
were gonna
phrase.
ask him?
That was-
You interrupted the panel to ask him that?
I mean, I've got more to say.
Have you heard that, Vosh, before? Is that the first time you've ever heard that?
I'm asking.
That's
is that the phrase?
news to
have
me.
you heard
What
that
does it
before?
mean exactly?
Obviously, he's heard
We need to organize our priorities here.
Let's let Sprout finish this line of questioning before. Okay, Sprout.
Okay. So actions speak louder than words is something that's really.
This sounds like the take I'd expect from a Freedom Poster guy.
You do the exact opposite, then I say you're hypocritical because you're not even willing to back up your own words with your own actions. Now, this person in question, right, Hassan, spent $2.25 million above the median average house. That is, the median house price is $775,000.
Yeah, you got a nice ass house.
He spent $2.25 million above it while he's talking about we should pay more in taxes. We should care about the homeless. I'm sure there's homeless in the city he lives in. We should do all these
Yes,
things.
open it
and
up.
We should stop
Do the
Bezos.
factory.
We should stop these
Finish.
evil corporation people and the way they spend their
Finish.
money. But when he gets to spend his money, he gets to spend his money however he likes it. I'm saying it's hypocritical of him to do that, and that is why I'm coming against Hassan for that, is because it's hypocritical, and his actions are not meeting up with his words.
Well, his action is he
And I
became
would-
one of the largest leftists online and moved hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people left. That's an action I like to focus on. I don't give a fuck what he does with his money, as long as he's not spending it, paying bums to fight each other in some gladiatorial arena he builds in his basement.
I just feel like we're mixing up subjective and objectivism here. You can argue about how you feel about how somebody spends their money. Objectively, you could also argue that.
Oh, I got two of those.
Arguing on his behalf, you could say this guy spends a lot of money in taxes. He's probably a major pillar of his community, stepping into that community. There's a lot of things that you could get involved in the objective point of view. Mixing in subjectivism and how you feel about how somebody is just basically backseat driving.
Well, I want to say, by the
mean-
way, if he
Brand's
backed
new.
off his positions, that would be something I'd be bothered by. If he was like, yeah, we should raise taxes, upper margin to 90%, and then he gets awful rich and he's like, actually, uppermost margin of 45%'s enough. That, I think it's totally okay to attack a person over
so
that,
many-
because that's a position being changed, not like you're just wealthy but saying the same stuff, which I'm okay with.
I feel like as far as it goes to the hypocrisy, though, it's worth flipping it, though, to say, if it was somebody like Joel Osteen, for example, who's a preacher who teaches the Bible, and obviously Jesus was like, you're better off abandoning all your wealth, otherwise you're not going to have a chance of making it to the kingdom of God, yet he hoards $50 million. I think a lot of people that are kind of
hate
on the
Joel
left
Osteen.
that would-
Tax-free.
I hate Joel
That would
Osteen.
just-
I think he's one of the biggest hypocrites of the Christian community.
Wait. We gotta let.
Just
Kevin
him?
finish first.
I'm almost done. I was just making the point that I know it's different. I'm not comparing Olstein to Hassan. There's money difference there. There's also political difference there. All that I'm saying is that when I'm trying to figure out how I feel about these things, I usually try to say, well, what would be the reaction if it was a Christian conservative, for example? Anybody that's sort of professing a sort of moral worldview. And I know that Hassan's saying, well, you need systematic change, and he's just an individual actor. But for me personally, I've also, like, in my life,
So I think tonight we're just gonna watch the Hassan debate.
Originally, when I was younger, wanted to go into like loans and stuff, and then I got billed on debt and realized like I don't feel comfortable pawning off debt on my compatriots, so I need to figure out a different career. You could say, well, there's somebody else who's going to do that job, but it's like I'd feel weird doing it if I'm doing a show that's anti the debt economy, So it's like at some point you do kind of have to live your values, and Hassan is somebody who's come out and said, basically eat the rich, that kind of stuff. You can debate over to what extent he's serious about that. I would just say, though, I've seen him have rhetoric before that's beyond simply taxation of the rich. He does want to move towards a post-commodification of housing economy, and so to go that far above the median, I could see some hypocrisy there. But as far as where's the line, I don't have an answer for you on that. I'm just saying if it was me personally, I'd feel a little weirded out doing that while having a.
Oh, I got the camo.
That's just me.
And that would be you injecting your subjective take on it if you were to take it to that next level for sure. Objectively, the guy probably pays a crap load in taxes. Subjectively would be mean saying, oh, he could go and he could spend $1 million on a house, 100 miles outside of LA, and then he could spend 2.25. Let me just backseat drive, and he could go invest in a firm, or he could give $20,000 away to 100 people's startups and help them get started. That would be me backseat driving. The guy earned it. His community paid it forward to him. He's been putting a lot of time and effort in, and to mix subjective with objectivism starts to blur the line of really shifting the goalposts of what you believe in, because the guy has put in the work. He's put it, and that just because you have millions of dollars doesn't mean that you can still take part in what your belief system is. True hypocrisy would be, like you said, like a pastor claiming that they should be tax-free while preaching the teachings of Jesus Christ. That would be pure hypocrisy right there. I think churches should be taxed to some degree.
Awesome.
But
Same here.
Yeah,
Base.
most
Okay,
definitely.
so I don't know why
Yeah.
Joel Osteen and churches are being brought up.
All right, hold on.
Well, I was just bringing up right wing hypocrisy.
After Sprout's finished, I'm going to give it over to Keem. Keem's been waiting. I'll write something down.
Okay, so I don't know why Joel Osteen and churches are being brought up, unless it's because it's a commonly known fact that I'm an ordained minister. That's the only thing I can come to is bringing up Joel Osteen in response to my statement. I'm not a fan of Joel Osteen. I think he's one of the biggest hypocrites of the Christian community. This guy talks about let's help the poor, and he drives a fucking Lamborghini. And then he
Well, that's
doesn't
not
open up
good.
a church when they need housing and stuff like that for people to come in and live in the church. I think he's one. I've talked openly about Joel Osteen and the mistakes.
Oh, hello.
I am no fan of Joel.
What the fuck was he shooting at me?
So I'm kind of confused on how that's even.
Oh, it was that guy?
When,
Okay.
when I speak of Joel Osteen, I speak purely individually.
Brant. I talk, nobody else talks. Okay, that's my only warning for everybody. So, I'm gonna give it over to Keem.
Thank you. Okay, so I understand a lot of what Trihex and Vosh said. Trihex, you brought up some great points about like making sure you have the good internet connection and like being around near the airport. Completely understand that. But can you say that he needs to have a pool, or can we say that that's probably a luxury? And then I have more questions after.
Some apartment complexes come with a
Well, because
pool.
the point is, the reason that I bring this
He
up
would-
is
if,
because,
like-
in my opinion,
He could be spending like $700 a month at, well, probably not that, probably more like $1,400 a month at an apartment complex that has a pool, and probably all the amenities that his house has. Honestly, he could probably rent that, and no one would ever say anything because he doesn't own it. I don't know. I pressed the wrong button. I don't know. I totally feel like almost doesn't matter. I don't know. Oh shit. Time for you to go, mister. Oh fuck, nice.
in a socialist world, probably everyone won't.
Yeah, I don't
have a
think
pool.
the amenities
There's
are
some
something
things
to
that
really
are-
argue about.
Okay, so let me backtrack. Do you think there's a level of luxury for a socialist that can be hypocritical? Like if he owned yachts and he like. Yeah,
I
like,
don't
I
think
just want to know if there's a line
socialist
at all.
is anti-wealth. I mean, so in a social society, you would definitely have like public affordable housing, and if you were successful enough economically, you'd be able to afford going above public affordable housing and getting like what we now know in USA as like nice houses. In general.
Okay.
So like whatever you wouldn't have you wouldn't be stuck in like renter hell essentially. So like your question of like how many amenities are like overkill for a social society to me are not really relevant to the bigger picture of what socialism actually is.
Oh, I completely agree. But this is the discussion topic we're having, right? Like, if we were talking about affordable housing, of course I'm going to agree with you. If we're talking about systemic change, of course. But the topic at hand is like, is Hassan a hypocrite, right? Like, I understand you guys are saying I don't care how he spends his money, and to be honest, I don't really care either. But the point of this discussion
So let me counter your question with a question then. Okay. So whether or not the house is a pool or not, a pool would raise the property value of the house and it will retain more value than that. If you have like a chimney, if you have a guest house, if you have a pool, the more shit your house has, the better value it's going to retain on the appraisal.
Oof.
It's just like house buying
Oof.
one.
Sure, of course.
Maybe I don't
Close.
give a shit about the house or about the pool, but if the pool gives me more value, okay, fuck it, I'll get it, you know?
Okay,
So, I don't know if that's
so
like,
to clarify,
that bad? Does that make me not? Does that make me
No, I
not
just-
wise? Because I'm not supposed
Shit.
to anymore?
no. So just to clarify, you don't think there's any limit to the amount of wealth that someone can have while being a socialist?
As long as the wealth was accumulated without the exploitation, often synonymous with capital society practices and businesses, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. That's
Yeah,
all I
they-
wanted to
they
clear up.
required.
Okay, I
Yeah, wait,
disagree
can
with
I-
that. But wait, sorry, I have one more
I
thing.
would actually love to hear you elaborate on that then. I'd love to hear like what
Yeah, I think that like you can't, in order to live in a socialist world, like a proper socialist society, you probably wouldn't have individual ownership of yachts because in order to have that much of a discrepancy between wealth, whereas where one person is able to afford a $20 million yacht, they must have exploited their way to get to the top. No one can get to the top of to that excessive level of wealth without exploiting people below them. That's what I think.
I don't think that luxury is in and of itself objectionable. I mean, I don't like that'd be like saying that George Washington and the rest of the founding fathers were hypocrites for founding a
Well,
liberal
it wouldn't be
democracy because they were
objectionable. It
serving
would be
the crown.
subjective, would it not?
Well, I'm only saying
Don't do
I-
this.
fundamentally, I don't think there's anything wrong with enjoying luxuries that might not be available in a more equitable
I've gotten lucky
society.
before.
It's about what you do to achieve it and how you use that wealth and your privilege and what you do generally with your life. The luxury itself in a bubble isn't really the thing that I find problematic.
What about when people?
Okay, wait, Wash, wait, sorry.
Yeah, I'm letting it elaborate, but okay.
No, I gotta hand it over to CDV. He hasn't talked yet this topic, and he did raise his hand, so I want to throw it to CDV. He didn't have to grab against me for jumping out in the fence. CDV.
Oh,
I think
nice.
The luxury thing is more subjective than objective, but you know that's how I would view it. The reality of the present situation is that Hassan has built an entire platform on giving people hope. Socialism is the way to solve the perceived problems
Okay,
of the future.
Hassan does not give
Yesterday,
anyone
he was able
hope.
to bring
He's
in a
quite the
lot of money
doomer, I
based
feel
on
like.
capitalism, the world that allows wealth to be centered in such an individual, and for them not to use what they brought in a way to help their own community would be antithetical.
I don't
to
think
the
Hassan
message that
believes
brought
he'll
in the
see
money
socialism
the
in
first
his
place inside
lifetime.
The capitalist system. So then you just have to sit here and ask yourself, in a socialist system like Dr. Heem was talking about, right? Would you actually be able to center that kind of wealth around one individual that would allow them to be able to purchase a $3 million home? More than likely not, right? I would say probably dead set against it. The only way that you get to a situation like that is in a capitalist system. So then like that right there is what becomes disingenuous about the conversation, because as soon as someone is able to use the capitalist system through preaching of socialist values to exploit the people that donated to the cause and to see the money get used in that way,
Oh,
is simply
hello.
just a slap in the face of the people that supported the streamer to begin with.
And can I just
do
say
you
one-
think that it's possible to enter into a socialist society without the participation of capitalism to get there? Currently in the United States.
No.
Then
What
I
happens
don't
when people
know.
willingly give their money? What happens when
Yeah.
people willingly give their money to you? These people implicitly, through implicit contract, people are willingly giving their money to Hassan.
I'm gonna run out of
They're
ammo.
choosing to support his platform. They're
That
choosing
wasn't
to
the
take
question,
part in
though.
his content. But what I'm saying is, there's
That wasn't
no
the question, though.
there's no
Joe, what was your
abuse of the
question?
proletariat. There's no abuse of the proletariat.
Joe,
in
what was
that
your question?
people are
I'm
providing.
saying,
Joe.
is it possible to not participate in capitalism to reach socialist goals?
I don't
In
even
the
think
United
folks.
States.
You could
No,
have a
it's
revolution.
not-
You could have a revolution.
It's in this country, no, right? Unless you have.
It's the one
unless you have a
thing he
community
said that I agree with
say,
CTV.
Get a bunch of people that made their own hand tools, right, or produced their own.
I mean,
fucking
I'm a
hand tools,
firm
and went out
believer
into the
that
woods
the
and
American
built an
system
entire
is
community
probably
based
the
on what was
best
there on the
setup
land.
for socialism.
Anything else is
I mean,
going
if that's
to be
what we
them
want.
making contracts to bring lumber in, or contracting hours for a bulldozer to clear the fucking land, or whatever the case is. And the system here is capitalist, right? And it's capitalist because it allows individuals to be able to choose who they do business with, right? So because of that, It's not forced on anybody, which under a socialist governmental system it would be forced,
Put
and
a
that's
pin
where
in
the that's where the difference fucking comes in the conversation. Whether it's free or whether it's controlled, right? And in the system that is being preached through socialism, it is very much so taking from others and giving it to others, right? As at the discretion of the government.
But we gotta understand that individuals, we're not these like tried and true individuals of like the straight and narrow in terms of our advocacy for its policies. So then the follow-up question I would have is, what has Hassan articulated as it regards to housing? Oh Jesus Christ, that's silence.
Wait, who watches
But
Hassan?
he has said about landlords and whatnot, right?
It's already been said this panel, so I just don't understand why you're bothering to ask the question again.
Yeah, Bosch, I know you were gonna. Bosch, I know you were gonna.
I think you said it, right? So why do
What?
that, Jeff?
Do what?
Why try to force someone to repeat themselves? They've already said it. The people want to see a show, right? They don't want to see the same.
Oh,
thing
shut the
every
fuck
day.
up.
So, wait,
Let's
like,
go.
but it's very important. Like, okay, so are we arguing about the socialism that we're trying to define within this panel as it relates to housing, or the socialism as Hassan defines it as it relates to housing? Like,
Well,
those
I
are
think
two
it's about
totally different
consumerism.
conversations.
What
It's
are we
about consumerism,
accomplishing
not just
either way?
housing.
Okay, it's getting a little off the rails here. So I'm gonna go in this order. So Brant did raise their hand, but Brant, did you address what you were saying earlier when you raised your hand when you responded?
Yeah, I mean, like, can I just rehash it really quick?
Rehash it, but and
Super
probably
quick.
Response to that, and then I got
For sure. People willingly are giving their money to Hassan, right? He's spending the money how he wants to. He's participating in
Ooh,
basically what I call
where was he?
socialism, which is
Oh,
taxation.
right there.
He's paying taxes on it. He hasn't
Nice.
exploited any tax loopholes. He's probably very transparent with his taxes that he pays. And I don't think that, I mean, even though I'm not for socialism, I'm not necessarily saying that he has in any way faltered from what he believes in. Does that mean he's not participating in capitalism? He is. He's on a website that allows him to utilize that. But he's not exploiting the proletariat to get to where he's at. People are willingly giving their money to him.
No one's saying he's exploiting. We're talking about consumerism. Consumerism and capitalism are like this. But we're talking about, is there a level of consumerism? Now, before I pass it over to Vosh, because I know he wanted to jump in, I want to ask you, you were saying about philanthropy, right? You were saying philanthropy is good if people choose to do it, right? And by the way, bravo to you for what you did for the Palestinian people. Fucking unreal work, okay? I agree that philanthropy is great. But let's say Hassan is now 30, 40 years into streaming and pushing socialist policies.
30, 40
but,
years
like,
into streaming.
and now, you know, loaded with cash, but he never once tried to open co-op coffee shop or do anything or open like a community housing or anything like that. Would you still say that, like, no, this is perfectly fine, he can spend his money how, like, if someone believes that these systems work, workplace co-ops, should they not put in the effort to try to get some of these things off the ground?
So-
I guess?
I don't believe in workplace
I
co-ops
always
for
think it's good
America.
when they do,
Not at the
you know?
moment.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's-
should
it-
they? Or
it's
are
a-
they hypocritical?
It's
if
a
they don't?
matter of what we're expected to do, and I want to say that if he was some errantly wealthy, 100 million, whatever, you know, then I would like him to put his money towards that, and I think it'd be a fair criticism, but not one of hypocrisy, because that's a criticism that I would levy at any wealthy person. I don't think that a person's obligation to do good to society is magnified because they happen to be left-leaning. I would make the same criticism of him that I would of any other wealthy person in such a position. But holistically, I would recognize that even if he was miserly and Scrooge-like with his money, ultimately, if he made that much money advocating for socialism, he probably got tens, hundreds of millions of people listening. And that's something that I would be more keen to focus on than trying to take him down as a hypocrite.
Okay, so the reason
Well, of
that
course.
I say,
I mean,
the
that's
reason-
the
wait, sorry,
self-serving
one second,
interest.
one second,
Wait.
The reason that I say it's the reason that
Is he
I
still
say
over
it's
there?
hypocrisy
I don't think
versus-
he
I
is.
agree with you, by the way, that that's a criticism we can levy at Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and
Elon
if
Ma?
Hassan ever reaches that level, we could levy that criticism to him as well. I agree. The reason that it's hypocrisy is because Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are not advocating for socialism, whereas he is. That's the reason that I
Yeah,
say
he's
it's
gone.
hypocrisy. You're not only existing within the system that you criticize, you're literally the top 0.x%, right?
Just-
that would be the hypocrisy.
What you're
of
describing
that.
here just doesn't really have a material effect on anything.
feel like he's
You're a
gonna
person,
die.
You have wealth. Your political beliefs don't bear any weight on the the good that your money could bring if you invested
Morally,
it
they
more philanthropic
should.
with it.
Well,
I don't.
yeah, we're
well,
Morally, they should.
well, hold on. Wait.
Cool, but
I mean, to me, like, we can be subjective about
Something
this,
about to
but
kill me?
It's just like utterly flaccid criticism. Criticisms of hypocrisy have always been weaker than criticisms of actual ideology, which is why so often that's what we go to when we attack
course.
socialists. It's what they did with Bernie back during the 2016 primaries as well, in 2020. It just seems to be like an easy get because the consequence of what we're talking about right now is that socialists, when they're public advocates, will always be held to a much higher standard than everyone else. They must always be more philanthropic, they must be more moral, they must check and grade everything they do to a higher standard. And while all those things are good, the practical consequence is that this weakens left advocacy. It foments infighting and it gives the outside easier attacks on us. I think it's okay to ask more of socialist figures, but when doing so under the veil of hypocrisy, all you're really doing is making it harder for any socialist or left-leaning person in general
Okay, so
to
can
make
I
their
ask you?
political
Wait a
decisions.
second. Wait a second. You know what? So we started.
Wait. I didn't even hear the end of a sentence. Finish the sentence quick.
It makes it harder for us to get what we want done.
can I ask one last follow-up, please?
You just got like two.
Last one, I promise. It's a yes or no.
Okay, if
Okay,
yes or
my
no,
re-
then I'll let the
Yeah,
list go
okay.
now.
I would love to just yes or no, guys. Do you think that Joel Olstein is a hypocrite?
Yes.
No,
I don't know.
I want Trihex and Vosh to answer.
In what context? A hypocrite?
A hypocrite in that he's hoarding fucking millions of dollars while preaching the word of Jesus. Jesus would never approve of hoarding millions of
Oh,
dollars.
hello.
That's what makes him a hypocrite.
Well,
so would
there's
you
a
say he's a
difference.
hypocrite?
not necessarily. It depends on his denomination.
The Christian essentialist critique of hoarding of wealth is different from the socialist critique of the systemic
Yeah.
power that wealth can
I
hold.
agree with that.
If Hassan was like having wealth makes you evil, which is by the way not something here I have said, or if he has said that, that was a remarkably stupid thing to say, then I would call that hypocritical, though I still think hypocrisy is a weak criticism fundamentally. But since he hasn't said that, I hope, then
Just put one here.
that it doesn't remain hypocritical
Okay,
in the way
nothing.
that wealthy, like a pastor, accumulating.
Okay, so I got. Wait. I'm gonna go in order here. So we're gonna go CTV, Sprout, then Kevin. There was gonna be like some length between that because people are gonna respond to the points. All right, Joe. Now.
Am I on
Yeah,
the list?
so like I keep hearing
We're just shooting
Vosh say
missiles at random
philanthropic,
places.
right? Like he just found this word in a $10 dictionary yesterday and decided he's going to use it today, right? So like, dude, I just looked up the word because it really is a $10 word, right? It just basically means charity, right? Actuated by a desire to do good to one's fellows.
A
right?
$10
So you keep
word?
using this word, but this word is false when in association with Hassan, right? And the purchase of a $3 million mansion, right? It just is, right? Because there's nothing about, you know,
I don't think anyone
a
ever said
desire
that.
to do good by one's fellows, right? Unless it's just means like, you know, Hassan's immediate friend group, then sure, they're all going to receive a benefit of their friend buying $1 million fucking
No, I
mansion.
don't think that was
which then-
philanthropic. Buying the house wasn't philanthropic. He could have spent the money philanthropically otherwise, but that house was for him.
Right, so then we're just speculation on what his possible expenditures were, even though we know what the bulk of his money went to, right? So philanthropic would just be like a bad word to use here, and we'll just move on from that. So from here, like the entire advocation of your point tonight seems to be a little bit more self-serving because you yourself, Vosh, can see somebody like Hassan and see the success and he's got a $3 million house.
Yes,
and man,
I love
I'm
having
almost
money. Absolutely. I do.
I'm almost there, right? So if I just keep this grift going just a little bit longer and a little bit harder, I'll be able to have a mansion of my own,
I'm
and
gonna
that's
buy
just
a
right
bigger
there.
house.
Yeah,
What makes
bigger
you
house.
think?
See?
Hold on,
So-
CTV. What makes you think Vosh doesn't have a mansion right now?
Yeah, the reality here is though, and
You
that's
think
where
I
the
use $10 dictionaries, CTV?
and that's where the well, yeah, I mean, like I shouldn't really put you on that. It's more like a $2 one, right? So you'll get to the $10 one sometime.
That could,
Anyway,
this could easily
so like
be
in
a portion of
reality,
walking
hold on.
Let's let CTV finish his point. Whatever he's doing.
Yeah, so like the reality here is that the entire argument that you're trying to come up with in order to defend Hassan only appears to be self-serving, whether you would think that it is or not. It doesn't really matter how you argue. The reality is that this young man came into a lot of money, and you say working hard, but is streaming really like all that hard work, or is it really just a lot of commitment?
I don't know if I
Is it
hard
really
work.
just?
Oh,
Is it really just a lot? Hold on. Is it really just a lot of commitment? Because is it out there sweating your ass off in the sun, digging a fucking ditch?
Here,
Is
this
it being
one.
out there fucking
Different type
in a
of
war
labor.
zone?
Harder work
Right,
than
the
I do.
reality-
I'll tell you that.
Hold on. Everybody
I'm gonna repair all of them.
When more than one person talks at the same time, we don't get double the information. I can't hear anything. So we gotta let CTV finish. CTV, finish your. Keep telling me about the grave.
I'm trying, right? So like So when you say hard work, hard is the subjective word in that sentence, and then everybody can go, oh, well, I work hard being a video gamer, versus, like, do you think that's on the same level as somebody that's out there digging the ditch? If it is, I don't
I
think
wonder
so.
if this guy works hard.
It's unfair to both professions.
Art is difficult.
The core of what I'm trying to get to with all of this is
I
that
hate
it
his
doesn't really
fucking
matter
voice.
how you try to defend Hassan. The reality of the situation is that he was preaching socialist ideology and continues to do that somewhat, right? And then anyone that is underneath him that is coming up this socialist ladder that now sees that, oh, a $3 million mansion is actually possible by doing this. Why not keep doing this fucking thing? So then, like, here comes the justification from people that are all below the fucking chain of wealth, if you will, right, with the level that they can achieve. So they're going to continue justifying who they see as the top dog on their side, all the dumb shit that they do once they get there. That's the only thing that they have, because that's how deep the fucking grift goes.
So are you trying to...
A lot of people want to respond to that, right? So
Yeah.
raise your hand if you want to respond to that. I'll throw it to whoever responds to me. Joe and Kevin and Brant have probably talked to me. So
And 163 somewhere on the other side of the map.
Joe, because he's next on the little list, besides Sprout. Joe.
TTV, just so I'm understanding what you're saying, because I'm a little lost. Are you suggesting that by Hassan advocating for the way that he advocates, and the fact that he now potentially made a down payment on a mansion or whatever you want to call it, that's creating a false sense that people can do the same profession that he
I'm
does
gonna
in order
die.
to achieve that?
All
I'm
does
really
into
lost
the-
in what you were
yeah.
trying to say.
Well, I guess maybe the question here for me is, right, is that if you see someone be able to achieve something else, whether it's riding a bicycle, right, or driving a car, if you see someone else do it, do you sit there and go, oh man, there's no way I'm going to be able to do that? Or do you yourself go, if that motherfucker can do it, I can do it, right?
I would never.
And that comes down to individual mentality. So then the question then gets shot right back at you, Joe. Which one are you?
What? Like, I'll never in a million years be Julian Bliss. Never in a million years will I be Charlie Knighting. Like, these are clarinetists that I look up to and consider, like, in the top tier of the profession. Never have I ever in a million years thought that I could be at the same level as them, because I can't be them. I can only be the best version of myself.
Is it a, that's a
I'm gonna,
rock?
like, look towards people who are better
I'm
than
not
me in my
asking you to be
profession.
somebody else. I'm asking if you can achieve that.
Wait.
No, because you can't. Like, none of, like,
How
I
could you
can't
not?
achieve, because I am not Charlie Knight. I am not Julian Bliss. I can only be Joe Lewis.
That
So I
doesn't
can
mean-
never be, and I can never be them. I can only be me. So the only thing I can do is be the best version of myself.
Yeah, but the reality
all I
there
tried.
is that we're just trying to achieve a goal, right? That was the entire point with the analogy, is achieving the goal. Riding the bicycle, right? Driving the car, being able to buy a $3 million mansion, right? It's the goal. It ain't got a damn thing to do with the individual. It's like, if that person can do it, I can do it. And if you really wanted to be the best clarinetist, by God, you need to get that wood right there on the tongue, brother, and just start, you know,
I practice.
that embouchure and keep it going.
I practice more than you probably have worked your entire professional career.
Wow.
And
Wow.
to be very clear of that, even with the
Wow.
work that I put in, I still understand and recognize that I can still only be the best version of myself. I'm never trying to
Sorry,
be
Tuttle.
the best clarinetist. I'm never trying to be the best saxophonist. Those are nebulous goals.
Right, but you're not trying for it. It doesn't mean that it's not achievable.
No, it's not achievable to be
Because
the
you're not
best.
trying for it.
That's so stupid, CTV. And you
Is
know
it?
that's
Oof.
No, it's not. Everything is possible if you want it.
This isn't
That's
fucking
res-
Disney, bro. Like I don't know. God damn, man.
I think we're way off point now.
Okay, so
Like,
we're
way
getting,
off
we
point.
are getting a little point, so I'm gonna go back to the list here. Next was going to be Sprout.
Okay. So I don't understand. So
I've been
Vosh,
so
you keep
quiet
talking
this
about
last
how
bit.
this
Sorry.
This isn't hypocritical, and hypocritical is a lame excuse at trying to come at the left. Hassan has consistently gone about saying that he wants.
Yeah,
the
dude, he
socialist
has the
agenda, he
fucking
wants
like
and
hang in there
finally
posters,
gets
but it
money,
says
that's not
character
what
and
he does.
freedom.
It's a complete.
I hate this guy.
I mean, he buys a
I
$3
fucking
million
hate this
house.
man.
What was his agenda?
What the
Well, his
fuck?
agenda was to create a socialist
What the
country
fuck?
in which the people who work for
You're like
the,
a caricature of a
company own the
person.
company, and that everyone is paid close to around the same wage. These are things that he said. He's also said eat the
Who
rich.
said this?
He said all these things.
So,
Hassan.
Wait, Hassan
wanting to
said this?
have-
Can you quantify that? Like, exactly what he said?
I just want to know the link
Let,
between.
let me just rewatch all his fucking VODs, Joe, and I'll give you a time.
You're the one
when
who's
I find
saying that
something.
that's what he said, and then if you can't quantify it...
Let me just go to Hassan's Twitch, and I would just give you timestamps, and we'll spend the rest of this conversation. And I'll just keep giving you
I mean, if you
timestamps.
did your homework for the panel, maybe you'd be able to quantify that claim, but...
I just want to say, I just want to know where the link is between spending your money on a big
They'll
old
get us
house
out of
and being
here.
socialist, and where exactly the line between those two is cut. Because if the argument for hypocrisy is anytime you believe something should be done, but then you spend money on luxuries, that makes you a hypocrite, that would make pretty much everyone in America a hypocrite to varying extents. All the conservatives who complain about, like, veterans care, well, if you've got money and you ain't putting it towards that, then sorry, buddy, you're a hypocrite. All the libs who care about homeless folk and you ain't giving any money to that. Hold on.
No, you must die.
Depending
But
on how...
they advocate for pulling themselves up by the bootstrap.
Depending on how much
Nope.
money you have, essentially anyone with any
No!
ideology
There were so many machine guns.
unless
Oh.
we're talking about like actual monks, which hey, God bless them, they're doing wonderful work. This hypocrisy criticism is really toothless. Why don't we just focus on the actual things done? And
Pull
the
yourself
effects those
up by
things
the
have?
bootstraps.
CRT's rant may
Fuck
have been
you.
Incoherent, but at least he was talking about the impact behavior has on an audience. That's more realistic and reality oriented than CRT critical.
Call him CRT.
It's sorry, it's on my mind a lot lately. Sorry, you know what I'm saying. CTV, yes.
He does not look happy at all. Look at that guy.
Why don't we talk about the ideas? You know?
Because
I mean, if you want, we can move to the next. If you want, we can move to the next topic.
Two people talking at once, so I'm gonna
Wait, sorry.
do it. Wait, but let's Sprout do it because Sprout was the person who put forward the question. Gonna write CTV's name down. After Kevin, Project, Grant, then CTV on the list. So Sprout, finish up your line of questioning.
Okay. So the idea when I say it's hypocritical, it's because it is hypocritical. He says one thing, then does another. And this is a moral flaw. We point out moral flaws in people all the time. I spent 4 years of my life listening to people tell me Donald Trump's moral flaws. Okay, so please don't tell me the left doesn't try and point out moral flaws, and when they say they're gonna do something, then they do something else. So that does
Don't
happen.
you say
We can call
things
it
and then do something
yeah.
else?
I'm a hypocrite sometimes. Yeah, when I am hypocritical, I actually change it, or I try to do whatever I can to actually not be hypocritical.
You have an
And
example?
This whole stream was started off by
Thank
Dylan
God.
congratulating me because I said that I was gonna get the vaccine. When it
Oh,
got
who
FDA
fucking
approved,
cares?
It got FDA approved. The same day it got FDA approved, I went and got the
I don't like
vaccine.
you. Shut up.
So, do you have an example of a situation that you were
I just want to say,
hypocritical?
Hey, that's not
Like, you have-
hypocrisy.
the thing that I
Example
don't
of that?
understand is that you're a conservative, right, or a right libertarian?
I'm a constitutionalist conservative. yes.
Constitutionalist conservative, yet you bought headphones. So you're saying one thing, but then you're doing another.
What did I say that said I couldn't buy headphones?
I don't
What
know.
did I say that
When
said I
did
couldn't?
Hassan say you can't spend money on luxury goods?
The hell does
I mean,
that have to do with
I talk about people pulling themselves up by their
Bye
bootstraps.
bye.
I talk about if you work hard, you can make money. I talk about if you work hard, you can get where you want. It just takes work. It takes effort. It
So,
takes.
do you
it takes the
work
willingness
hard
to
and
do
make money?
Yes, I work hard and I make money. Yes.
Okay.
Wash, wait, hang on.
Back it up. Back it up.
Hassan shitting on people for having sick houses, saying how do people have so much money? Why, or shitting on Jeff Bezos for wasting his money going to space.
Yeah, I shit on people who watch anime, white people and guys all the time too. But I don't think it's a substantive hypocrisy. I don't think it's a substantive element.
But you're not
of hypocrisy of
advocating
mine.
for the opposite of whatever it was you just said, right?
No, I
Whatever
advocate people
what
not watch
example.
anime, but I
Yes,
still watch
brother.
anime.
Okay, so
It's-
that would make you a hypocrite.
Well, sure. I mean, you can make that argument, but does it have any substantive relation? By the way,
No,
this
listen, I
wait,
agree
really
with
quick,
you
really
that-
quick. Wait, hold on. I think I may have accidentally.
I'm about to
Hold
say
on.
some shit.
Wait,
Let
hold
me
on.
step back out.
Hold on. Wait, I accidentally conceded. I accidentally
Damn, bro.
conceded something.
Didn't know
That
he was
the
there.
impression that Hassan has explicitly said that it's unethical for
Let's
wealthy
just leave
people
this
to spend
guy.
money on luxury goods, which to my knowledge he hasn't said that. With my reductive.
Yeah, it would be
analogy there,
very
I may have
stupid for him to say
implied
that.
was my goal. The point that I'm making here is that I think you can say stuff like, eat the rich, fuck Bezos, but then go ahead and make a lot of money being a socialist streamer and then spending that money on a nice house. I just don't fundamentally think there's a break in the ideology there, you know?
Okay, No,
have
no. We have to. I want to go back down to this list. CTV, you are on the list. Don't worry. But Kevin is.
I'll never complain about Silver Lines.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Dylan. So, I got a couple points here. The first one I wanted to address what critically thinking veterans said about, is it hard work essentially? And the fact of the matter is that there are different sectors of the economy that do different work, which is all essentially, if you're able to do it and put food on the table, there is demand for that work. You're fulfilling a need in the economy, basically. And so what Hassan does, there is demand for. He does provide a service in that regard.
Let's do an air.
A ditch digger would as well, if there's demand for it. I think the thing that's worth noting here is, well, is it as equally hard? Well, one is more physically hard, but there's a lot of research that goes into streaming. Now, I haven't watched Hassan streams on Twitch, but I used to watch him because I used to watch the Young Turks. I used to watch the Young Turks, like, unironically, basically, every day up until, like, 2016, 2017. So I've seen Hassan over there and everything. And he does work hard. To my knowledge, he streams about, 10 hours a day, roughly, 8 to 10 hours a day. That is work. There's research that goes into that. I stream every day. It's not necessarily easy. There are other jobs that are more difficult, but at the same time, it is still work, and people are willing to support him to do it. There's demand for it. People are obviously entertained by it. So it is work. My only issue, I guess, there was just about the profession of different values. If you're going to profess different goals, to what extent might it be a little bit hypocritical? And that leads me to my second point, which is that I wanted to answer Joe Lewis just about asking, well, what are Hassan's views on housing?
Can I address that before you do that, though? Since you addressed me there?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so, like, specifically, that's why I said I put the
I'm
preface on the
muted for
word
a second.
hard. Right?
How we
Like,
doing,
it's not that
lads?
it's not work. Of course it's work. Right?
We're
the
doing
preface
good.
there was the difference in contrast between the physicality versus the mental work, right? So that was
but
why...
I stream every day. It is hard work, though. Like,
I'm
it
just
is
making
hard.
Yeah, that's why I'm just prefacing in what you said, because you agreed ultimately that one was more physical, one was mental, but that's why the preface was on the word hard right there, and then like trying to compare like the ditch digger to what Hassan was doing streaming would be disingenuous from the start.
CTV, can you admit that you could say that? Can you admit that you can say that there's a context where somebody could describe a math test as hard and that be accurate, even though they didn't lift boulders or something?
Well, I think ultimately
Yes.
the word hard is going to be subjective to the individual, because it's going to depend on how hard it is that they actually, like how much effort did they actually have to put in, because there are people out there that have to study for weeks on end to get ready for a test versus someone that comes in there, does a little bit of study the night before, and they go in and they fucking ace that shit.
I got you there, and there are different degrees of, your starting point. And I think one thing that's worth mentioning in all this about Hassan, not to take away from the effort that he's put in and the commitment and the consistency that he's put in, but it is worth noting, and people bring this up as well, that, basically he did start in that position because of the opportunities that were given to him by his uncle Cenk. But that's true for a lot of people, though. Like a lot of my subscribers and stuff are credit to Spooky Nukies. There's subscribers to my channel that found me from Dylan Burns. Networking is obviously a part of making it big in streaming and all that kind of stuff, and that can determine your kind of starting point. So did Hassan start from a higher sort of starting point compared to other people in the industry? A lot of them, for sure.
I don't
Does it
know
mean
what's
that
happening anymore.
what he does in terms of
I'm
streaming isn't hard work to do that 8 hours, 9 hours a day or whatever? It is.
We're not going after that
It's
B.
not- I would argue, and I've worked at McDonald's before, for example. I would say that streaming is actually harder than working at McDonald's, just in terms of the task of it, because you don't have to do research. Once you've done it for a little while, you know what you're doing. You know what you're making, a burger or whatever. Whereas each stream has to be new content, otherwise people aren't going to watch it. You know? And so there's that element to it where it's challenging in a different sort of process. Now you can talk about financial, it's easier for him, sure, but it's still work. So like I've got criticism. I also got some defense of Hassan here. I think
Well, that B25's not
Joe
gonna.
Lewis, because I didn't want to answer Joe Lewis' question about the commodification or what's his view on housing. My understanding is that Hassan Piker does want to move towards a system level decommodification of housing under a socialist system in which workers own the means of production, and so
He's breaking off for some reason.
that's a systematic change and an individual difference in that. I would argue, I would argue that you should still try then to live within some degree of not necessarily modesty or whatnot, but just
We're dead.
recognize that there is exploitation that does go into consumption as well. And so you could say, well, Hassan doesn't necessarily get exploitation in terms of labor from him.
He's not going down,
I
is
don't
he?
know, I can't comment on this, how much he
We'll
pays
get the
vendors
assist.
or whatever. He may well be drawing surplus value from them too, but I would argue it, it's a voluntary exchange. But again, that's a capitalist sort of argument. I would say though, on the point about the extent to which there is exploitation involved here, it's more about, and I guess this is a question for the panel. Do you think? Yeah. Does the panel think that there can be exploitation in consumption? So if you buy a yacht or you buy a mansion, the people that produce that product, is there exploitation there? Even if you didn't hire them directly, is there exploitation? This is my question.
We need to go back down the list because we're going to be wrapping up this topic soon. We have Trihex, Brant, and then CTV, and then we're going to do ending statements. Trihex?
Yeah. All right, so I'll answer this question real quick here. In short, if in a capitalist society where you're able to outsource and not have direct control over the means of the labor to able to produce the goods, ultimately, if things are not being produced through unions and ethically produced by people
Gonna come after me?
living wages, it's kind of hard. Yeah, not really able to really buy a yacht without entirely knowing exactly whether or not you can.
Why didn't you just head on me, man?
But that's the pain of living in a capitalist society where we don't have those regulations to protect those people to make sure that things you could buy could be exploit free. Anyways, that's addressing your point again there.
I
but
think
moving on
Hassan
here. I
should
got
have
two
bought a
things for you
bigger
real quick
house.
about this, and it comes back here to the whole value of Hassan's platform. This is a moderately subjective take here, but
Are you not gonna head on me either?
I still feel there's a lot of animosity over
Shit.
Hassan purchasing the house. Clearly here and on the panel, it's a one. And I would say here, in comparison here, if you view Hassan as like a small business owner because he owns his own, he's definitely has his own LLC and definitely is able to
hello.
spend on behalf of the business while he generates money on his stream and whatnot. A small business owner is definitely, I don't think it's unethical to be able to spend on expenses to reinvest into your business, right? You want to buy, if you're
XP50's
fast,
fast.
new kitchen equipment, industrial kitchenware and whatnot, etc. So in that
We're not gonna
context,
catch up to
buying
him.
A house where he can do more at his headquarters and invite people over and build a big production studio and whatnot to make it look way more official if he wanted to, hypothetically. Doesn't seem too unjustified to me, especially given that the platform he's on here has most certainly done some definitive value for what he advocates for, including things like de-radicalizing people who potentially may have been still on
We're
the MAGA
fucked.
train and want to do another insurrection. Definitely getting people educated here over whether or not they're going to, anti-vax or not. It's not me dick riding Hassan, it's me just bringing up the definitives that have certainly happened in his
Dick
community at
Rider
this point,
Trihex.
given his size and volume.
Pepe.
And then also the second point here being that
We're
there's
just
a lot
gonna
of
wrap
attacks
until
here
we're
over-
out.
I don't know if Hassan said tax to rich. I know he's worn the AOC shirt, tax to rich, or eat the rich, or whatever it's called here. And I want to reinforce here a point that, generally speaking, the tax to rich, eat the rich catchphrase here is usually more fixated on the grotesque levels of exploitation of wealth accumulation, which usually points to billionaires. I'm talking about people like Jeff Bezos, like Michael Bloomberg, $200 billion net worth, Bloomberg, $60 billion net worth, Bill Gates and the Koch brothers, where you have so much wealth, it's obscene, and it's typically impossible to even spend it all in one day. And you have so much wealth that you with the fact that
Get me out of here.
Money is free speech, essentially. You can just buy your way into power and be held completely unaccountable above everything. That is where it's just broken down society, in my opinion. But it's I want to get to right there.
So we're gonna throw it over to Brant.
Yeah, so going back to what CTV was saying a second ago about
like
streaming not being hard, that's purely subjective. And you'd already kind of reiterated that you wanted to clarify, saying that when you said hard, you thought it was subjective. But I mean, there are things that I can do, others will never be able to do. There are things that others can do that I'll never be able to do. The word hard is technical proficiency and how difficult something is. So I might be physically built to be able to do things better than others. I might be mentally built to solve math problems or be a coder or a programmer
get
to
'em.
do things better than others. Streaming is definitely a difficult job. In the last 13 months, I've streamed 4,500 hours to try to build myself up on this platform, trying my absolute best, putting 10 to 12, sometimes 15, 24, 48, sometimes 72-hour streams, trying to bring people basically what I consider my passion. I could try every day like you're saying, oh, I can be just like that motherfucker. I could try my absolute best, and I will never be one iota of the impact that some of the content creators on here are, with maybe a fraction of said effort or difficulty in what it is that they're doing.
We made
I
it.
think when you
Barely,
say
but we made it.
something isn't hard, you're severely diminishing either the effort that others put in or the luck that others, the miracle mix to success that others may have found in achieving said success. So I think that's very, very dismissive to say that streaming isn't hard, because there are people out here that are putting different types of effort into different genres, talking about different things. Some people are so good at Call of Duty, I'll never be as good as them. There's some people that are proficient in being able to articulate a platform and be able to reach an audience and win people over to their side. And I mean, that's just purely subjective. And like I said, it's just purely, diminishing the effort that some put in, and then, the lack of effort that some people may have had to put in.
This feels very tangent.
Okay, we're gonna wrap it up with.
Oh wait, I thought I had to. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Dylan. Okay, thanks, buddy.
There is 4 of them left.
All right. Well, I mean,
and a
what
lot
does it
of
take to
us.
stream? I guess this is where we're going to end the conversation. Right?
So
What
this
does
is-
it take to stream, right? Like,
Mentioned this in the opening point.
Might take downloading Twitch Studio, and then you hit the start stream button, right? That's how easy streaming is. It's really, really easy to stream. All you have to be willing to do is stand up in front of a camera and a fucking microphone. Everything else that you just named off had specifically to do with the person's personal interests and what it is that they wanted to display in front of a camera. So the act of streaming is so fucking easy, right? It is so easy that anyone that is listening right now can literally go start doing it. Go fucking do it, right? Download OBS,
Wait.
create your fucking Twitch channel, and start streaming, right? The difference here, right, is it whether or not people tune in to listen to what it is that you're saying, or what it is that you're doing, or what it is that you're showing them, right? There's a lot of good streamers out there, right, that will sit there and say, like, do auto mechanics, right? Like my good friend Demon Machine. Sitting out there doing auto mechanics, he's fixing shit while he's at fucking work, he's having a conversation, his boss is cool with it, like, it fucking works, right? So, like, there's a whole lot of different streaming that comes in, but you don't get to just co-opt the word streaming and then co-opt everything else that goes into all the other different types of content. I think the food and drink community that's happening here on Twitch would probably disagree with you, right? Because there's a lot of chemistry that goes into cooking, and it's not just getting in front of a camera. So,
3
with all
left.
that said, when it comes to like trying to come to Hassan's defense, it all comes down to ideology, which is how we end up in the conversation of hypocrisy from the start, Bosh. Right?
They're probably gonna kill him before I get there, and if they don't, I'll be surprised.
The hypocrisy is the difference in what the actions of the person are versus the ideas that even got them to that point, and that's where the inherent hypocrisy comes in. Now, you can all feel free to address me in your closing
nice.
statements, but for right now, I'm going to hand the mic back over to Dylan.
Okay, so we are going to wrap this up, and if you want to address anybody's point in closing statements, you are free to, but the last time you can address the topic is in the intro to the next topic. So, we're going to start, I'll just throw it over to Trihex, because he seems like he really wants to say something.
Like, by that logic, CTV, like, if I want to chop a tree down because I'm a professional, like, landscaper or whatever the fuck, right?
Lumberjack.
If I have an axe, I'm forbidden by logic from ever getting a chainsaw because it costs more money, based off your arbitrary points of like getting anything above a microphone and webcam go stream. Like, what you're illustrating here is a metric of like bare necessity. It has no basis in like a consistent criteria.
There it is.
to entertain the logic. Period. Like, it's like it's what it is. Like I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like that's it. That's the whole point. Scared of
Climb.
debate or
No, it's the
retort?
entertainment. You can't do that.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, well then, all right, then I replied. I'm good.
Okay, gonna throw it over to Vosh.
Yeah, I think this one got away from us a little bit, but summarize. Under socialism, all Twitch streamers will have $2.7 million mansions. In Los Angeles, we will...
Oh, hello,
only us,
B17.
by the way, nobody else. And, yeah, vote for Bernie.
Okay. Gonna throw it over to Kevin Cassie.
What the fuck?
Yeah, thanks, Dylan. So, just to kind of summarize where I'm coming from on this one, I can recognize, look,
Is he shooting at me?
Hassan Piker, he does, work hard, putting consistent effort towards streaming and everything. He's obviously attracted
Yeah, go land.
a large number
That's
of
alright,
people,
I can wait.
upwards of $250,000 a month.
Oh, no, I
for
can't.
Subs alone, just on Twitch, for example, has and these are people that obviously, you know, he provides value for in terms of his craft. So
I
at the
can't
end of the
get him.
day, you know, under capitalist logic, he can buy the house and it's all good. I think that the issue here is just that you're somebody who is principally opposed to the commodification of housing, even at a systemic, you know, via systemic change, you could still recognize that maybe at an individual
He's
level,
gonna get him.
there's something a little bit off about that, because you could just kind of make excuses, so on and so forth, until basically you're everything short of Jeff Bezos, but you're not, you're still not technically exploitative, maybe. I don't know. I think that at the end of the day, it is a little bit disconcerting to see that sort of cognitive dissonance, but I don't think it's ultimately that big of a deal. Obviously, we were invited to discuss this, so these are my thoughts on that. I think that that's largely for his community to really determine on if he crossed any sort of
He's been
line
hit.
over the difference between, you know, total luxury versus just, you know, a sort of a modest sort of level or whatnot. I do think additionally that it is worth noting that people can do different types of tasks and different types of jobs in the economy and work hard at them without doing physical labor. I do find that sort of appeal to physical labor over any other sort of labor to be a bit backward, a little
9
bit,
minutes, we got time.
ultimately somewhat reactionary in terms of the characterization of labor. It's something that, you know, harkens back to old regimes and stuff in terms of their demonization of what they saw as like white collar bourgeois sort of work, that kind of stuff. I'm just basically gonna wrap up here by saying, you know, I don't really care too much. I do just find it a little bit weird, and I'll say as well, this is a huge problem in Christian
Bye-bye,
right
Flaps, sir.
communities as well, right? That hypocrisy. Thank you.
Okay, I'm now going to throw it over to Sprouticus.
Hassan's a hypocrite.
Okay, now I'm going to throw it over to Joe Lewis.
Bro, I don't give two fucks that Hassan's a hypocrite. Let that motherfucker ball.
Okay, now I'm going to throw it over to
Bro.
Heemed.
Okay, so first of all, Vosh, if I knew that every Twitch streamer under socialism would get a $2.7 million house, bro, socialist team, here I come, Baba June, we're selling out. But for real though,
9,000,
a
nice.
good analogy that I thought of while this previous discourse was happening. Let's say that
Not
you're like
too
a
bad.
vegan, right? You're a vegan streamer and you advocate for veganism.
Not too bad at all.
But you're really hungry. You don't have any food to eat, or you're going meal to meal, whatever. I don't blame you if you have to eat meat to get by. But if you're a millionaire and you've made millions off of advocating for veganism, and behind the scenes you're sneaking cheeseburgers in, I think that you're a hypocrite. Now, Trihex, I'll give you credit. You were the only person who properly answered my question when I said, is there any level of consumerism under socialism that would make you a hypocrite? And you said
I actually
no.
wouldn't mind that.
So, just to be clear, under a socialist world, you're saying that like someone could go to space with the amount of wealth that they've accumulated
meat,
without
I
helping their
advocate for
fellow
veganism.
person, and you wouldn't find that hypocritical. I think that is hypocritical. Okay, and I also want to ask. I know the topic's over now, but I wish I got to bring up. What would you guys think if he put his money in an? What would you guys think if he put his money in an offshore bank account, right, to dodge taxes? Would you still think that that's okay, or would he then be a hypocrite, right? And also, lastly, I agree. This is just a surface level discussion. It's not that important. You guys are right that his actions and his messaging is actually more impactful in the world. But imagine how much stronger his messaging would be if he started a worker co-op that was successful in Los Angeles. And with that, I yield the rest of my time.
Okay, now we're going to throw it over to CGV. And for those who haven't responded, don't worry, you can. The last time you can respond to this question is in the intro to the next topic. CGV?
Yeah, I mean, we laid it out pretty clear, right? Hassan is a hypocrite. He should